Okay, so we're going to do a quick little video on the Dillon XL650. So there it is with the case feeder, and I think I'll just start at the top and work my way down. So we have the case feeder plates, small pistol, large pistol, small rifle, large rifle. There's 4 plates. Very little adjustment to do on this thing of any. Basically stick your plates in and throw your brass in and go. Anyway, it'll pick them up, drop them down here into the funnel, into the tube, and then over to the shuttle. See if I can get a better pick. So the red pieces of plastic that you see there, there's 2 of them. That's what you get in your caliber conversion. You'll buy a specific caliber conversion for the 650. It'll come with those 2 red pieces of plastic. And then there is aluminum tube. You can just barely see the mouth of it there to the left of the spring. That piece also comes in the conversion. And then you will get your shell plate and the 3 pins that index the case for the proper caliber. I believe that's about it for the caliber conversion. So station 1, size and deprime. Station 2 is to bell your case and powder charge. Station 3 on mine, I have this mechanical powder cop. This is the Hornady version. Dillon has an electronic version that gives you a beep, but it's obviously quite a bit more than this one. As the case comes up, you set that band to whatever height you want, but as the case comes up with powder in it, it'll push that up, make the band visible. What I do not like about this is it's something else I have to watch. I got plenty of things to watch. I don't need to be paying attention to that one too. So I'd rather either have the audible alarm, or most of the time I'm stand over my press, like right about here. Got a good light in there, and I can see the powder in the case. So I don't always use that. Station 4 is seat and crimp. And then station 5 is available on this. Put whatever you want. Some guys will seat and crimp in 2 different steps. For the Smith & Wesson 500, I have to seat and crimp in 2 different steps. So I would actually use that if I loaded that caliber on my 650, which I don't. So setting up your seat and crimp die in station 1, pretty simple. Run your plate up all the way, and then adjust this die to where you feel it touching the plate. You don't want the cam over like you do on a single stage. This one you just want it to touch. And you can break those plates, so you don't want that cam over like you're expecting if you use a single stage. Station 2, there is a flare die inside that housing. There's a flare die and powder through. It's hollow, so the powder will drop through it. So we'll adjust the die body to the proper height. You want to have your powder drop on there. So you want to have your powder drop on the die body and fasten down, and then you run your empty case up into here, and at the top of the stroke, when this thing is charged all the way up, that will be when that flare does its job. so you'll make small adjustments up or down depending on what you need. Once you have that set, you'll lock it down with a lock screw. And then here's the adjustment for the powder drop. I got the micrometer for mine just for ease. I used the standard one that came with it forever. It works fine. I just thought this would make things a little simpler. So that's how you'll adjust your powder charge. Once I've got mine dialed in, I usually cycle this 10 times and weigh it and make sure I'm still on. These things are fairly accurate. You'll get there. It's not an issue. Then on this mechanical powder cop, you screw this down with the charged case in it. Screw it down to where this comes up to wherever you want it. You can set this at any height you want. I usually have it to where it just comes up to where I can see it. And then the seat crimp die. Okay, here's how you set up a seat crimp die. Your stem, right up here on top, you want to back that bad boy. Oops, I said that backwards. The body, you want to have the body backed out because that's the part that crimps. You don't want to crimp yet. You're testing you're setting your seating depth. So you're going to run your case with the bullet sitting on top. Do a dummy round. And much easier that way. Run it up in there and then screw this stem down, and then you'll feel it touch, and then you can back your case off a little bit and then give this a quarter turn, run the case back up, and then measure it or look at it if you have a cantilever to crimp to, until you get it to where you want it. Once you have that done, you're going to back this seating stem out. You're going to get it out of the way. This is if you're going to seat and crimp on the same die. So now we have the stem backed out. We're going to run that same dummy cartridge that's already been set to the proper depth up in here, and we are going to screw the die body down until we feel it touch. We're going to back that dummy round out a little bit, give this a little turn, maybe a quarter of an inch, quarter of a turn, eighth of a turn, and run the case back in until we get it crimped how we like it. And most new people will over crimp. It's just a natural thing to do, to over crimp. It doesn't need to be crimped that much, so don't go crazy with the crimp. Once you get your crimp adjusted to where you want it, lock the die body down with the lock nut. You still have your dummy cartridge in here. You're going to run it back up into this die, and then you're going to screw down the stem until it touches that projectile sitting in your case. And now that one's done. There's a lock nut on the stem too. You lock it down, and then it won't move anymore. Okay, thanks for watching this.